Hey guys, Hez here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to Profile Reviews. Haven't done these in a while, and occasionally I do see people going, hey, are you going to do them again? Because they're pretty good for pure education. If you care about climbing, you can pick up a thing or two each episode from these, and you can apply it to your own games, your own ranked experience, and generally they should help. So we've got a bunch of profiles today. And what I specifically asked for, I'm not sure if it's going to be 100%, but I did ask for in the Twitch subscriber room on my Discord, give me profiles that if you've never had one of these done before, so they're all fresh, we probably haven't seen one of these before, and if we have, it would have been a long time ago. So again, they're all kind of updated roughly within the last hour, so that's fine. We'll change that to ranked, and here we go. So first guy is on a US, Scorpio135. He's a Platinum 3 player. So Platinum 3 puts this guy in the top 10%. He's in the top 9.41% of the game. So pretty good. Last season was Gold 4. This previous season of Gold 5. So obviously a bit of an improvement. Nice to see. Also a pretty good positive win rate in nearly 200 games. So that's a big thumbs up. Shows that he does belong where he is right now. So looks to be an Ari main, but has a few other champions in the pipes that, you know, can pull out at random times, or, you know, if Ari's banned or a bad matchup or something. So that's good to see that it's not like a pure one trick or anything like that. As for the stats, a 69% win rate in 26 games with a KD of 2.78. That's not bad at all. For, again, the rating you're in, the game gets harder the higher rating you go. For a season that's your first ever time in Platinum, that is not bad. That's fine. Second most is then Fizz with a even win rate, and then Nico with a negative win rate, then Viger, Vel'Koz or Steve, Morgana, and then Xerath. Does seem that the Morgana is definitely support pick, but the rest of them are mid. As for your actual games over here, so again, not a great performance a day ago, but again, they happen. Never going to put that a lot on people. What you want to obviously start looking at is if there's a bunch of bad performances, then obviously that's a different scenario, but it seems it's not that bad. You've got a 16-2 performance, and then your next game went 5-12. So again, maybe you're quite an aggressive player, and if it goes well, it goes really well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So that possibly could be something very quickly as a slight observation. What's nice to see as well in a game that you're having a bad performance, obviously it was a loss, but you are buying control wards. It's always nice to see that when you personally are having a bad game, you are still then technically helping your team with vision. It's an effective thing to do, because if someone on your team is fed, they can use that vision where maybe you can't for now. So that's good. That's a check in my box. So kill participations, again, for mid lane. Mid lane obviously should be a relatively high kill participation compared to, let's say, top lane. I'd say minimum 50% is what we're looking for when you're mid. Ideally at 60%. And I will actually say, with how the meta and everything has gone, if we find a top lane main in this episode, I have actually lowered what I deem a good kill participation is for top lane, because the meta is not top lane centric at all. It is mid, jungle, and AD carry focused, mainly AD, like bot lane and jungle focused, with a bit of mid. Top lane at the moment is in such an isolated island that if you get a 40% kill participation in top lane, you're doing really well. Like, top lane is just by itself right now. So in your good performances, you are getting involved heavily. And, you know, your average performances, you're still hitting that 50% mark. So that's great to see. If we jump into, so again, you've got just under 200 games. If you go into ranked solo, in 200 games, you've got 42 champions. That is a quite large amount, because if you actually take on from 29 to 42, these are all one-game champions. You know, is that a bit random? Should you have those? Again, if we look into the red, your negative performances of losses, 4-8, but a lot of assists, 4-9, 4-9, 1-5, 2-5. So again, just maybe you're playing a little bit of random things. Again, even in your victories, 2-6, 0-4, obviously that's Tarek support though, but 4-9 Lysandra. Again, some good performances here or there. Is there any champion that we could just point out straight away that maybe you shouldn't touch? Potentially Ezreal, so you've got 7 games on him, and Diana, and both of them have a slight negative win rate. Oh, again, Diana's close, she's got 1 more loss than win. But yeah, your Ezreal is the largest, but again, KD's good, but again, sometimes with Ezreal, you can be strong, but he's actually quite hard to carry on, because he's not that hyper carry that a lot of AD carries can be. Other than that, again, your Nico could be a little bit questionable. Again, over 10 games played, negative KD. But But yeah, your Ari seems solid, good farm, good, you know, KDs, good win rate. Your Fizz, that's a backup that I guess is like your melee option. Seems fine, just that win rate is even. But again, with you having a positive win rate, having an even win rate champion right now isn't that bad because you should be gaining more LP than you lose. Your Zereth actually seems pretty good. So what I'd say for you to continue climbing is honestly just continue what you're doing. Again, that just shows you your win rate. For 54% win rate equals you're going to be climbing. 54% is a very solid win rate for somebody that is climbing in their, you know, you're in uncharted territory right now. You are gold and now you're platinum. So just keep playing. The question you've got to ask yourself as well is, are you becoming reliant on Ari? Because when you compare Ari to the rest of your champions, there does seem to be a gap there. So ask yourself that question. You might not mind it. And I'd say the benefit of Ari comparing to other mid laners, Ari is never that crazy contested pick. She's never going to be that champion that is permaban. She's never going to be that champion that is picked a lot by your enemy. So she is actually a pretty solid mid laner to play. She can pretty much play in any matchup. You just have to alter your playstyle. So Ari is a great champion in main. She is strong when she can, you know, pop off and hit those charms. So yeah, honestly, I've not got much bad things to say about you. Just keep doing what you're doing. And the only thing I'd say is maybe limit, you know, the randomness. There's quite a lot. There's over 10 champions here of 1 games. Maybe limit that. Again, from 36 to 42, it's not that many, but that there are losses potentially that don't need to be losses, if you know what I mean. So not bad. Keep it going. Next up is this guy. So we are on North America now, track 76. So was silver, then bronze, then silver. Again, maybe this season, season 7, you didn't have a lot of time to play. It's always possible. So we are now in the top 66% of the game in silver 3. If we change everything to ranked and ranked, so we do seem to be a big Pyke one trick, and I would probably deem this a one trick, even though, yes, you've got 80 games of Malzahar, 241 games on Pyke is a big amount. So I would probably deem you a one trick myself. Again, I can't get into crazy in depth about one tricks because, again, I'm not a Pyke main. I won't be able to tell you the ins and outs about Pyke. I obviously play him, and we've had some great performances, but I wouldn't feel comfortable giving you advice specifically about the champion when I don't know the champion incredibly well enough to give advice. I can just play the champion in Diamond. You know, there is a difference, surprisingly. But your performances seem to be, you know, okay. Your win rate is negative the last few days, but not too many games, has to be said. Win rate is slightly negative. Why could that be? Well, there's your Morgana, there's your Leona, there's your Zereth. So if you actually take into account these 3 champions with negative win rates, there's your negative win rate overall. Bingo bango, that's why you've got a negative win rate. As for everything, so your kill participation, sometimes really good, sometimes a bit meh, but again, when you're not playing Pyke, so again, you've got to ask yourself the question, is it worth being that reliant on one champion? That's up to you. It's how you want to spend your LoL experience. Pyke, different to Ari, he is quite a contested pick in solo queue, because he is that kind of carry support, right? So will you always get Pyke? If you do start to climb, he's a very popular pick. Will you become too reliant on him? Ask yourself that question, and if you don't care, just keep playing him. That is fine. As for, you know, you've got over 400 games. If we jump into ranked solo, you've only got 10 champions, so that is completely fine. So this is why I said, yeah, you're pretty much a one trick, and when you're probably given mid, so you're probably queuing up, if I had to guess, support and mid. And whenever you're mid, you just play Malzahar. Again, it's effective. Malzahar is a relatively easy mechanical champion to play, obviously. He's got, obviously, combos. But what Malzahar is decision-making. And, you know, when do you ultimate and stuff like that. And it seems you're fine with that. So, yeah, keep doing Malzahar. Your win rate is actually pretty damn good. 55% win rate in over 70 games. And then your Pyke is solid. You know, 51% win rate is a climbing win rate. But yeah, if you just enjoy that playstyle, go for it. And obviously, your other picks of negative win rates, I potentially presume is when Pyke is picked or banned. And obviously, you can notice straight away the difference of your Pyke to other things. Positive win rate, but then negative win rate, negative win rate, negative win rate, negative win rate, and then 1 game Alistair. So pretty much all your other supports have negative win rates. And then for mid lane, you've got positive win rate Malzahar, slightly positive win rate Galio, but that honestly, oh no, that's support Galio. Okay, so you've got Galio that is also a positive win rate. But Galio, I wouldn't think is the strongest support in also considering his recent nerfs. So what I'd say to you, if you really care about climbing, I would probably practice more things than just pike. Like maybe your pike is fine right now, it's good enough to climb, but when you're not on pike, especially in support, it seems that yes, your difference of skill is vastly different. So potentially play a bit of flex queue, get get some skill on other supports, because that's important. Even if you're a one trick, you can't be a pure again. Even though I don't advise being one trick anyway, a pure one trick still can't really be a pure one trick unless you're going to go the dodging route, which it seems that you don't do. If you ever see someone with a profile of 100% play rate on a champion, they dodge games. That's how they get around not getting their champion. It seems that you don't do that method, which is fine. So that means I think you need to get a bit more practice in on secondary picks. It's important because again, your negative win rate, like we mentioned earlier, your negative win rate is literally these 3 champions, this 2 champions. So if you got rid or you got better at those, like you just stuck to Morgana or something and you had a 50% win rate, an even win rate on Morgana, and the Leona games didn't happen, the Xerath game didn't happen, the Zilean game didn't happen, you'd have a positive win rate right now. So that is potentially what I'd say. But if you enjoy Pike, keep playing Pike. The only thing I'd say with Pike in lower rating especially, some people can get confused in lower rating when it's good to take kills and the whole KS situation. Obviously for Pike, it's very good to take kills with his ultimate. I've been in low rating playing Pike or with a Pike, and people freak out when he takes a kill with his ultimate, even though they don't understand that they're getting the gold for it. So sometimes Pike can actually be a bit counterintuitive in low rating especially. But yeah, he's a fun champion. He can carry somewhat. Again, make sure you're roaming and stuff like that. If you've got an AD carry that is safe and you trust them that they're not going to die when you roam. But yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Control wards. Yeah, you're buying a few every game. That's fine. So yeah. My only bit of advice is, again, the only thing I can say, I can't really go specific into Pike himself. And again, it does seem that you might be a duo player or something. Maybe a pure duo player, because you've got 9 games of ranked this last week, and 8 of those have been in duo. So yeah, I can't advise that much, because one, I don't like duo. And secondly, I would expand your champion pool not to be as reliant on Pike. But that's just obviously what I'm always going to advise. But there we go. That's that guy. Next up, we are in Gold. So we are now back on EU West. Updated 3 months ago, where he might be, oh, he's gone down, I think. So not too many games that we can go off. Really none at all. So very quickly, all we can go off, he's played 41 games, and in those 41 games, he has played 23 champions. That is way too many. Half of your games are on different champions. So from 16 to 23 are all losses, and they're questionable losses. 0, 6, 5, 8, 3, 7, 6, 7, 2, 8, 1, 4, 3, 3, like a neutral KD, 0, 2. So in all of these, you only have one champion that you had a neutral KD. Everything else is negative KD. And then Lee Sin, you've got a double loss win. Alistair, 3 losses. So again, way too many champions you're playing. Again, this is the slight thing that I have always tried to preach. Even though on my channel I do show playing a lot of champions, I don't advise it. It's not good for climbing. It's, we got Master a few weeks ago, and my main account, I have a stupid amount of champions still, less than I've played in previous seasons, but that hurts my climb. It 100% hurts my climb, so I would never recommend you guys doing it either. I do it, one, because yes, I will be honest, and maybe this is what you have as well. I get bored easily. I think that's easy to tell. But secondly, it is because of the YouTube channel. If you're a one-trick YouTube channel, that's what people subscribe for. If you're a Shaco one trick, they're subscribing to watch Shaco. My channel has never been defined by a single champion or 2 champions. It's always been, oh, he plays a lot of stuff. So that's kind of why I do it, as well as the boredom. But that doesn't mean you have to do it. Again, if you are somebody who's like, I get bored, but I want to climb, and obviously it's hurting you playing so many champions, what I'd advise is just pick maybe 10 champions, you stick to those 10 in ranked, and when you have that bored feeling, play an ARAM, play Flex Q, kind of get the boredom out of your system that way, and keep your solo queue as pure as you can to try hard to climb. And again, maybe you don't care. Maybe ranked is just your fun mode, and that is completely fine. It depends what you're in it for. If you're in ranked for climbing, then I'd advise very much shrinking that champion pool. This actually might be the biggest ever example I've seen of percentage of champions different played. Again, over 50%. You've got 23 champions played in ranked solo with 41 games. Over 50% of your games are on different champions. That is probably the highest ratio I've ever seen. And other than people there are some people that do the climb of they do one ranked game per champion. I've thought about doing that series. We've done an A to Z series before, but I've never done it. I don't think we did it as a ranked series. I don't remember. Like a ranked series on a fresh account. That has been something that I've thought about. And again, I don't know. I might do that. We'll see. Let me know if you would want that in the comments. Next one, we'll do maybe one or two more. Why is this so zoomed out? Oh, for some reason that one was zoomed out. We are on EU Northeast, so we don't go on this server that much. Again, before we get into it, I have had some people even private message me going, why is EU Northeast really considered that bad? The reason for it, and again, it's not really an elitism thing. The reason for it is EU West is known as arguably the second best server to play on League of Legends. Korea is known as the best. And then even Korean pros EU West is nearly, if not as good as Korea. It's just higher quality. You get tested a lot more there. Even was it Dom, who plays on North America, said EU West is 400 roughly LP ahead of North America. So if you're a master player in North America, you'd probably be like Diamond 3 on EU West. It's a big difference. And EU Northeast is a little bit worse than North America in terms of quality. And the reason why it's just EU Northeast is not taken seriously is because you can just play on EU West. If you play on EU Northeast, the difference of EU Northeast to EU West might be about 5 to 10 MS. So it's you can't notice it, and the quality is vastly different. So that's why I've always been in the camp of just play on EU West. You're not sacrificing anything for it. You're getting better game quality. You're going to be tested more. You'll get a bigger idea of what the harder game feels like. And again, it depends what you're in it for. If you're in for an easier, just fun experience, then EU Northeast is fine. But I'm in it for testing myself. And I've also heard that EU Northeast is more toxic than EU West, which is crazy. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. So, silver, gold last season, gold 248 LP. So right now you're a little bit higher of where you were last season. And you also have a negative win rate. Let's just quickly check. Is that, can we not check it? Oh, wow, it's gone away. There usually is a graph thing that you can check of the ratings. Apparently that is gone. Weirdly, unless I'm an idiot. No, it's gone. So gold 2 on EU Northeast is in the top 21.5%. For ranked, we have what are we? Bit of top lane, but a negative win rate Gangplank, a bit of a Carly, and then AD carry with a bit of Garen. So a top lane AD carry main. Honestly, that's a very weird mix. Normally, you don't see a top AD carry main. Plays AD carry and top. So again, does duo a bit, which obviously I'm not a massive fan of, but whatever. Right, so for your recent games, obviously that was a remake. So you got a triple kill on Caitlyn. That's nice. Your kill participation roughly half. Farm's good. Kai'Sa, again, bit low kill participation, but you had a good performance, so maybe someone else in your team popped off. Farm is okay. Again, roughly always the same kill participation it looks like, which isn't too bad. Champion-wise, again, you have what? You have 200 and just over 60 games. In over 260 games, you have got 72 champions. That is way too many. This is practically the best advice I always can give in these episodes, because it's always a thing. People play way too many champions in ranked. So from 62 to 72, there's 10 losses there. And, there is a good performance there. There's a not bad performance there. But again, they could be good KD performances, but the difference of just getting a good KD and then knowing the champion to carry the game is different. That's why KD is not always the most important thing. There's 10 losses there that, do they have to be 10 losses? If you're playing something that you knew better, would those be wins? Would half of them be wins? Half of them would be losses, so they wouldn't be adding to the negative win rate you have right now. Questionable. And then again, more ones, but then here, big 2, so from 45 to 53, that's a lot of losses. That's near 20 or more losses. That is just there. So again, why? And again, when you look at those performances, there's those 2 games, you died on average 11.5 times, the average 9.5, 8, 5.5, 6.5. So again, 8 deaths on average on Teemo. So easily, so there's 3 losses on Yasuo with a terrible KDA. Easily, the only advice that I'm going to give you, and the only thing that I want you to work on is, again, we said it earlier to another guy, is just get rid of the randomness. It's like your win rate right now is negative by, what, 7 games? All right, so these 3 and then 1 gamer there, right there is your negative win rate. But then if you actually look at it more, so that is your negative win rate, and then half of Aurelia. But then you've also got those games, and then you've also got 10 games here. So you've got in excess of 25 games, maybe even 30 games of losses because you're just playing random champions, and then 3 on the Yasuo as well, we can't forget. So again, there's 30, 35 games of losses because you're just randomly playing these champions in ranked. And if you actually look, so if those, let's just say those 35 games or 30 games, we'll just like round it down, half of those were victories instead, you'd have right now probably a 51, 52% win rate instead of a 48% win rate. And you might even be gold 1. So that's the difference. So again, it does seem like in your recent games, again, not too many in the last week or so, but your recent is being less random. It's AD carry, it's a Carly that's your second most played, which is good. So maybe you've noticed this yourself. But yeah, just to kind of say it out loud, and you guys right now, go on your profile and check this yourself. See how many champions just randomly you've played. And it really adds up. Like, I bet if I go on my profile, it adds up too. Again, we spoke about earlier why I potentially do it a bit more. But yeah, so again, it's the easiest thing that I can say. Other than that, your mains don't seem terrible. Like Gangplank negative win rate, but I will say Gangplank at the moment is a hard champion to pull off. He loses pretty much every matchup in the meta right now in top lane. Mid lane, maybe he has a better time, but mid lane Gangplank is a bit odd. So yeah, I kind of understand a slight negative win rate on Gangplank at the moment. Your Garen seems good, and Garen is quite effective in low rating. And then some of your AD carries are doing pretty good. Your Tristana especially is a great KD. So play the champions you know, play less random things, play less things. And what I'd love to see is consistency. So you've got a Caitlyn game there and a Caitlyn game there, great. But like what I want to see is 2 Kai'Sa games in a row, 2 Caitlyn games in a row, 2 Draven games in a row. That's how you build that consistency up. So yeah, other than that, keep it going, play less random things. And finally, I'll do an update. We are still on EU Northeast. We're in Gold 4, top 34% of the game. We are closing in to Gold 3. We are what looks to be a support main with a little bit of top thrown in. It does seem that way. All right, so rank solo. So we haven't got many games. Again, not too many, but your last 2 performances have seemed to be pretty good. These are the 2, obviously, that I have recommended people to play quite a lot. Obviously, you do have Lux there, but, you know, Lux support, I've not seen one actually in a while now. She has completely dropped off because, right, like, no more Lux support. But if your Lux is good and mechanically, you know, you're getting a lot of kills, consider it going mid lane. So that's good to see. Brand, percentage health damage, Vel'Koz true damage, so they're not item reliant, and that is why they're brilliant in support. Other than that, again, control wards maybe a bit low, but you still won the game, so not too important to say. Rank solo, we have got 15 champions in 60, 70 games, so that's not too bad. Again, 3 Gnar losses. Negative win rates on these champions, 2 losses there. So again, it's not bad. Your brand seems very good. Amazing win rate there. Good win rate, great win rate. Your luck seems obviously fantastic. So I don't know. I want to say this with a brace. I don't know if potentially you're a smurf, because yeah, great win rate, 66% overall win rate right now, or maybe you're a normal game player that you hardly play ranked, and there are normal players out there that exist, that they would be platinum quality normal players, but they just don't care about ranked, and once they start playing rank, they're like, this is easy, and they just go boof, they just go straight up. So maybe you're one of those, or you're a smurf, or I don't really know, because yeah, it does seem that you're definitely not a gold 4 player. Looking at these KDs, looking at the performances, etc., you'd probably easily be a platinum, mid-platinum player. So there's not much to advise, to be honest. All I'd say is maybe cut out the champions that you've got negative win rates on. that's about it. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy this profile review, throw a like on the video. If you've got any questions that I can answer in the comment section, feel free to put them down there. I'll answer them. Other people can answer them. But I'll always say, remember, be careful of where you're getting general advice in League of Legends from. So many times on Twitter, Reddit, in my own Twitch, or even my Discord server, I have seen people try to give advice to others, and it's terrible advice. So always kind of know where the advice is coming from, and don't just take the word from it. Because, you know, we on our Twitch channel, we have caught out a few people trying to give advice, going, hey, what's your profile? They won't give their profile. And you go, oh, I'm Diamond. Oh, what's your profile? We'll have a look. They're not, you know, they're not Diamond players. They just like giving advice. It's the normal thing of the internet. Everyone's a brain surgeon, you know, that type of thing. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys enjoy it, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.